I'll take that.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen to the value of the Bitcoin when that happens? Is that like a stock splitting, and then the stock winds up half? When it splits, it winds up half as valuable, but twice as many. You still got the same value.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea, Mike.
That's kind of what it sounds like. You wind up with twice as many Bitcoins worth half as much, so you wind up still with the same value.
Hello, you reached a winning team call. Please let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Robert.
Hey, Robert. We got Mike and David and me and you.
Wow.
Good to have you here.
We're doing good. We're doing good.
So we were talking about that Bitcoin split, the fork. What do you know about it?
I don't know nothing about it. All I know is it's going to happen on the, 15th or 16th?
15th, I think. 16th?
Let me
And
see
I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean that Bitcoin's going to split in half?
I don't know.
2 times is what they said.
All I know it's confusing. I haven't got a whole lot in my Bitcoin, so I'll just have to wait and see. You know. I don't think it's going to change the dollar value. If it's like stock, if you split 3 for 1 and it's $120, then 3 into that, then the stock is now worth $40 instead of $120. The only difference is you got 3 times as much.
That's what Mike was saying.
I mean, that aspect or that part of it, I understand. Exactly what they're doing, I'm not sure.
It says, any user storing Bitcoin on Coinbase at the time of the fork will be credited with an equal amount of the new Bitcoin 2 times asset on the Bitcoin 2X blockchain.
Yeah.
No action is required. We will automatically credit your account. If you have 5 Bitcoin stored on Coinbase before this fork, you will have 5 Bitcoin and 5 Bitcoin times 2 following the event.
Yeah. Like I said, in my case, I don't think I got, but I know I don't have a Bitcoin.
No,
I got about $2. I got about $2 worth of Bitcoin in there, so if I understand it, then I'll have $4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But usually
usually when you split like that, then the value of the coin drops because you're getting twice as much. That could be explaining why Bitcoin has went from 4,000 all the way up to 7,000 now. Went past 7,000 today.
Wow.
And it says Coinbase will disable buys, sells, sends, and receives for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin 2 times approximately 24 hours before the fork. We will re-enable them following the fork once it is safe to do so.
I don't know.
Sounds.
I wish. Yeah, I
really
wish I knew.
Strange. Closest thing it says is just like Robert was talking about. What I was saying is the closest thing I can see resembling that is a stock split. Which stock split doesn't make your stock worth any more. It just makes you have more numbers of stocks worth less.
Yeah, normally though, when a stock splits, if I use $100 and it splits 2 for 1, now your stock is only worth $50, but you got 2 shares, so you still got $100.
Right. You ain't lost anything.
You haven't
And
lost a thing.
So you're not going to double it up, though, right? That would
No,
be
no,
no, you
no.
may wind up with twice as many bitcoins, and then when a bitcoin goes up, you have it twice as actually increasing twice as much. That's the way stock works. If like Robert said, if you got $100 and it stock splits 2 for 1, you got $50 in each stock, but then you still got $100. But then when the stock market, when the stock, that particular stock goes up, if it goes up another point, then you've actually gone up 2 points because you had two stocks.
Yeah. The main reason that a stock splits, I guess the best example, I'm going to use Disney because I bought Disney and I sold Disney, and hell, I had Disney's for so many years it must have split 50 times. But as an example, let's say Disneyland, because I'm going to talk about the stock market because that's what I understand. Stock goes up to $100, and Disney, the board of directors says, well, nobody wants to buy our stock because it costs too much.
Right.
So then the board of directors say, well, let's do a split. Now, by doing a split, it drops the price down to $50. Now the people out there that are buying stocks say, well, I can afford $50. I'll buy a share this month.
Right.
Now, the beauty of that is when you split it and the price goes down, it has a much greater tendency to go back up because now it's cheaper.
And more people will buy it.
Reason,
More people
will buy it, and drives up the price.
Drives the price up. That's the reason for
Because
splitting. Yes.
Yeah. See, I think, they were talking about, by the end of the year, boy, the way it's going right now, the Bitcoin could hit 10,000. Well, that's a lot of money just to have one coin.
And how many people gonna go out there and pay $10,000 for one Bitcoin? Nobody.
Okay.
But if it splits, I don't know what kind of split they're actually talking about, but if it's split just right, then the value of a Bitcoin goes way down, but the number of Bitcoins you have will go up, which means you have the same amount of money, but when the value goes way down, it makes it more attractive for more people to get in and buy Bitcoin.
Yep. So in other words, we'll use $10,000 as an example. Let's say Bitcoin does, go up to 10,000. Well, everybody's buying it, but we're buying it in small amounts. But let's say for whatever reason, somebody out there decides that they want to do a split. So let's say they split it 2 for 1. Well, 2 for 1 means that now whatever you had is worth half as much. So if you had 1, now it's split 2 for 1. Now you have 2. The price, let's say, of the Bitcoin is 10,000, but now because of the split, it's only worth 5,000. But you got 2 of them, which means you still got your 10,000. But at 5,000, the price might go up even quicker and faster. But, I'm talking about stock.
SegWit 2 times fork. In our prior blog post, we indicated that at the time of the fork, the existing chain will be called Bitcoin, and the SegWit 2 times fork will be called Bitcoin 2 times. However, some customers ask us to clarify what will happen after the fork. We're going to call the chain with the most accumulated difficulty Bitcoin. We will make a determination on this chain once we believe the forks are in a stable state. We may consider other factors such as market cap or community support to determine stability. It's important for us to keep a neutral position in any fork. We believe that letting the market decide is the best way to ensure that Bitcoin remains a fair and open platform. The end.
Yeah. The reason I don't understand it is because, like, I'll go back to Disney for a second. If Disney split 2 for 1, if you had 100 shares and it split 2 for 1, now you only have 50 shares, but you actually have 100 because it's split. But it's still
the other way, Robert. You have 200 shares.
Yeah, 200 shares.
But they're only worth half as much.
Right, but it's still Disney. That's why with the Bitcoin, I'm not sure what the hell they're doing, and I'm not quite sure I understand it, because in a sense it sounds like they're saying, well, okay, you'll have Bitcoin, and then you'll have Bitcoin number 2. Well, hell,
don't sound good.
Does that mean that we have a whole brand new Bitcoin?
That sounds.
I don't know.
That's what it sounded like to me too when David was reading it there, and that sounds too hokey to touch.
Yeah, because, in essence, they could be saying, well, you'll get Bitcoin 2. Well, Bitcoin 2 might be going for 5 cents a coin. I mean, who the hell knows? And your regular Bitcoin will be whatever regular price is. So, all I can do is wait and see. I really don't know. Kind of crazy.
Sounds like a good time to not touch it. If you're going to lose it, you ain't going to lose any more than what you had in it to start with. But if you're going to,
Yeah, well, like I said, I only got a couple dollars there, so I mean, it's basically keeping my account open. I had about 100 in there, but I took it out to buy another package with USI. That was a few weeks back. So, it just dropped down, and actually, it dropped when I bought, a couple more packages. It actually brought it down to about 95 cents, which was kind of interesting. But now, because Bitcoin's gone up so much and so fast, it's worth a little over $2. Kind of weird.
I think somebody else joined us a little while ago. Welcome.
I heard it.
Will you tell us who you are and where you're calling from?
Hi, guys. It's Sandy. How y'all doing?
I thought it might be you or Wally.
Well, I've been feeling that way about all this stuff. I feel like anymore that I got a bunch of balls I'm juggling in the air, and I'm not catching them when they come down, and I'm really frustrated. So I think I'm going to just try to concentrate on one or two things, because I don't have time. I'm getting myself out of my mind, and I saw that about the fork, and I thought, oh, good grief, now somebody else is changing the game. I mean, it just, you can't keep up with it.
Sounds like something to run from to me.
You no sooner get involved in something and they start changing all the rules and changing the way you're going to do things. And I can't keep up with it. And I'm just frustrated as can be and not doing anything. I'm like, I feel like a zombie anymore. I just can't seem to focus on anything.
That can be very easily done, that's for sure.
It's crazy. I mean, the USI, well, Coinbase, of course, you got to have that to buy Bitcoin, whatever. The United, the game. Oh, gosh, I can't even remember half the stuff. And I get up every morning and I think, well, what do I want to work on? And I wind up, it gets to be about noon. And I've done nothing because I'm so busy trying to figure out what I should do. I'm really frustrated. You probably can hear it in my voice. So I don't know.
You're not the only one, though, Sandy.
No. Well, it's kind of like in mine. I'm mainly just doing True United and USI, and that's it.
The problem is USI is dealing with Bitcoin, though, right?
I'm sorry?
I said the problem is USI is dealing with Bitcoin.
Right, but...
And USI dealing with Bitcoin sounds like Bitcoin's about to bite the dust. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, I doubt.
I
I
don't
doubt
doubt
that,
it. I
but
don't doubt it. I've seen it happen before. I've been
right.
around for 45 years now. I've seen things like this happen before, and every time something like this starts happening, it bites the dust.
Yeah, the only thing I can say to that in reference to the thing that they had there in London, there is, I'll call it a rumor because I can't solidify it, okay? But apparently, sometime between now and maybe next year, USI is going to set up somehow in our back office where it'll have, for lack of a better way to say it, their own Coinbase. You'll be able to buy your Bitcoin directly from them without going through Coinbase or blockchain or anybody else. And if they do that, then that will be a hell of an advantage for us, that are in USI, because we won't have to mess with blockchain or Coinbase or any of it. And that would be nice, but I don't know for sure the exact details, or whether, as some of them say on those damn things that I watched, blowing smoke because it's not there yet, but apparently they're working on it.
And by the way, Mike, Bitcoin has been doing this for several years now, where they announce forks, and virtually all the forks fail. All the other ones fail.
Yep.
For some reason, people keep trying to fork it off. I think it's individual people trying to mess with it for their own benefit, and finding out they bit off more than they could chew.
Doesn't give me a good, secure feeling about it.
And Bitcoin has still flourished in spite of it all.
I'm not sure.
Like
I'm not sure of that. But
they had their BTC Gold. I think it was last month, and it fell flat on its face. It went up for briefly and then crashed.
But Bitcoin itself still stayed there.
Went up.
And it went up. But when they say you're going to get something, like you're going to have Bitcoin and then you'll get an extra 2, that could be just to see how it goes. It's like a freebie. When we switch over, we're going to give you 2, whatever, just so that because your account's going to be there. And you never have to buy anything. You never have to do anything. You don't have to do nothing.
It might just be a lure to get you into, so that you make it succeed.
Yeah.
So I mean,
sounds too hokey to play with. That's my opinion. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not part of USI, and I'm not part of Coinbase. I do have a Bitcoin wallet, and it has all of $2 invested in it. And I don't know what that is now. I don't know. At the time that I put those $2 in there, the Bitcoin was supposed to be worth about $2,000. But
it might be up to $7 or $8 by now, Mike.
Oh wow! All I've got to do is to lose is $2 by just letting it sit and then sitting back and watching and see what happens. That's my opinion.
I have 2 packages in USI, and I'm not going to do anything else with it. And through United, I bought $100 and some odd worth of stuff, and I got $1.20 in my account. I'm better off using my charge card and going to Walmart and getting 2.5% back, or through eBay and get 4% back. I don't get it. How can you be making the money they claim on that video?
Well, they are. I am.
Yeah.
How much do you think I made my first 2 weeks? I made almost $100. I almost made almost $100.
Wow.
So the money's there.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, and a lot of us unfortunately don't have one.
I don't have any.
Only because I have been in the stock and bond thing. It's just, I remember, buying different stock, but you watch it and you watch it and you watch it and watch it, and you can imagine how well, it wasn't depressing, but you go to the stockbroker. When I lived in Florida, and you could go to the brokerage house. And when you went in there, it was like going to the movie theater. They had chairs where you could sit down and little notebooks, and you could watch the ticker tape going across, and you'd sit there
Yeah.
for hours on
I,
end, and then you'd see Disney, and man, your eyes would pop up, and you'd see, oh wow, it just went up, or it just went down, and then you sit there and push your pencil and decide, well, is this a good time to buy?
let,
And blah blah
let,
blah.
let me ask you
And so
something,
then if you
Robert.
buy, yeah,
Do you remember 2008?
yes I do.
Yeah, I lost my ASSS in 2008 in the stock market because of politicians playing with the economy, playing with the stock market.
Yep.
I lost not just a little bit. I lost a lot of money because of that. And
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I'm real leery about any time anybody starts playing with things like that. And I just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah, and I do understand.
I saw the whole world come to a crash, and
Yeah, I do understand that. Because I can give you a perfect example, and just the reverse for me. I worked at Amazon, or not Amazon. I worked at Harvey's. I'd been there 15 years, and I hit 55, and I get this letter in the mail that says if you want to do anything with your 401, you can do it within the next 365 days. But you got to do it then, or you can't do it. So I read over the whole thing, and I said, okay, I think I'll go ahead and do that. So I went ahead and I cashed out my 401. I mean, I just cashed that sucker out with about $55,000. Now, here's the funny part. My sister worked at Harvey's, the same place, but she was way up in management, and she had somewhere in the neighborhood, her and her husband, because they were combining and putting, money into it. She had almost $380,000 in her 401. 2008, they decided they better friggin' cash out. She got less than I did when I cashed out mine.
what was her age?
She
What was
lost.
her age?
At the time, I think her age was about 56 or 57.
She should have been able.
But
She
she's
should have
younger
been
than I
able
am.
to withdraw everything without losing anything. She got screwed.
Yeah, but
Simple.
yeah, because she watched it keep going down. It just kept going down, and finally, she was able to, get out of it. But by the time her and her husband decided to get out of it, they managed to get about 45,000 out of it. And 6 or 7 years before that, when I was 55, that door of opportunity, and I just sold it.
Well,
So I actually walked away with more than she
at
did.
age 55,
But she lost.
have been able to get everything you want out without a penalty of any kind.
That's right. That's right. That's why I did it.
No, Mike. What he's saying is it had lost value.
Well, yeah,
There was no value
yeah, I
left in
know.
it.
That's what happened to me too. I waited one day too long, and I lost.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to my sister, and I know they must have lost anywhere from 200 to 250,000. I mean, in a sense, they didn't really lose it. That's why the stock market's funny. If I take what I put into my 401, I came out ahead. If they took the exact amount that they put into their 401, they maybe only lost $20,000 or $30,000. But based on the value that it had reached, it's over 300,000. When it started to tank and go down, and they finally decided to get out, they got screwed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The only reason I wound up with anything left is because when certain politicians, and I ain't gonna call names, started playing with things, and I saw what was happening. I got out of the U.S. market and went into the European market. And
Yep.
by doing that, when the U.S. market crashed first, all the markets crashed, but when the U.S. market crashed first, I got out of. I cashed in on my European market, and I managed to salvage about half of what I had, but half
Yep.
was a drop in the bucket compared to what I had, and it just. But that was only because I was
Wait.
smart enough to move to the European market first, and it crashed after the U.S. market. So,
Yeah.
but both markets
Well,
crashed.
the problem with the market, and if you understand the economic system, is that it's pretty simple. There are no guarantees.
Oh
Number one,
no!
if you understand inflation, how money, I'm going to talk about money for a second. The value of your dollar right now is probably worth less than 20 cents.
Oh,
Okay.
less than 2 cents, buddy.
Less than 2 cents, okay? And the reason for that is because the cost of living and everything else that's combined into all of this, pushing the numbers
Hmm.
has gotten so high that the value of the dollar is absolutely worthless. He said, like Reverend Dave said. And,
Plus,
that's why
they keep printing more money.
they keep printing more, yeah. And that's why originally my understanding was that part of the people that started Bitcoin was the idea, if this falls flat on its face, people are going to want to go somewhere to be able to exchange. And Bitcoin ain't no different than our dollar.
Nope.
Ain't nothing backing it. Not a damn
You're
thing
right.
backing
There's
it.
not. There's not. And you're right.
It's
You're
all
100% right
no.
there.
It's only valuable because other people think
If
it's valuable.
it's only worth what
Right.
somebody will give you for it.
That is correct.
Exactly. Same thing holds true with the dollar. It's only worth what someone will give you for it. Same thing holds true with gold. And everybody says, "Oh, you got to go out and get gold." But the same thing holds true with gold. It's only worth what someone will give you for it.
That is
And
correct.
when you understand that one fact, then you know
Well,
you realize that it really doesn't matter which currency you are dealing in. It's just how stable is the, I'm gonna say company, but in reality country that backing that particular currency, and
that is correct.
so
And that's why, in my particular case, I have probably somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of pre-stored food that'll last 25 years. Because I'll guarantee you, if the money system goes to hell, I'll be able to eat. And if somebody else is going to want something to eat, they're going to probably have to come to me to get it, unless they've done the same thing up.
yeah, but
Because-
how are they gonna come to you to get it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, but I got it. I'm not going to starve to death.
unless
I might have to
someone
lock
comes
my
takes it
door
from
or
you.
Move into a cave. Well, we won't go into the gun issue, but
I
trust
didn't
me,
I didn't say anything
if
about
they
a gun.
want it, they're going to have to probably jump over a few dead bodies to get to it. And at my age, who cares?
Oh me. Oh,
Oh me.
I'm not quite that pessimistic yet, but I am
Me
I am
neither, but I'm
pessimistic
just
about
saying-
any currency, regardless of what you call it, that people start playing games with. And when they start playing games with it, it worries me. So I usually take a stand back and watch and see what happens.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm so concerned, because our government's been playing with our money for the last 150 years, and it's gotten way out of control.
So
When
it's
you
just a
figure
matter-
we're $35 trillion in debt. What the hell's $35 trillion, but nothing but a piece of paper?
Well, we're only 20
know?
trillion right now. Right this moment.
20
We're
trillion?
20 trillion as of today, yeah.
Well, you stack that from here to the moon. You can go back and forth to the moon about 7 or 8 times.
especially don't want to go to the moon.
I have to take a deep breath.
I come from
Yeah.
NASA, and I still don't want to go to the moon. So
Yeah, I don't want to go there either because on the backside, all the aliens are there and they're watching us, and
Here he goes again, Mike.
yep, there he goes.
But I can't prove it, but who cares? I mean, I know. I've seen them. I've talked to them. Yeah, all right. Okay. So nobody else believes me. I don't care.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And
Like I said, somebody today.
I
Huh?
can having said everything I've said, I'll say that if you have confidence in the Bitcoin that you're investing in, invest in it by all means.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
if you
yeah.
got confidence in the dollar, invest in it. If you got confidence in the yen, invest in it. But
Yeah. That's, I mean, that is the bottom line.
the bottom line is still whoever is backing that, and I realize the U.S. is not backing dollars with gold. They're not backing dollars with anything except do you have confidence in the U.S. Right now? My confidence is in the U.S. more than anybody else. So
Yeah, and it's a crazy system, but you know what? It's like with the Russians. It's a crazy system, but dude, it works.
I mean,
Where else can you go in the world where you can take a bank and the bank takes $100?
let me
You give the bank $100, and then suddenly the bank has the
shucks.
power to loan that out 10 times and has nothing but your $100.
I got
And they give out
right.
$100 to all these people to come to get a loan.
I got a savings account in a bank. It's in dollars, and in the last 3 months, I've made all of 1 penny on it. One
Well,
penny.
you're probably lucky because some places in the world they charge you to
They
save it.
charge you to save it, yeah. Well, they don't charge me anything. This
Yeah.
bank doesn't charge me anything for any account that I have there. But I also have not made anything in it. I have an equal amount in the stock market. In the stock market, it is not making me a whole lot of money, but I get maybe maybe 7 or 8 cents on a dollar per month average. But
Well, that's not too bad.
that's not that's not making me rich either. But it's but it's it's making a whole lot more than the bank. So
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
like the saying goes, a penny saved is a penny taxed.
yep, absolutely.
yeah. Well, when I was doing stocks and bonds, the one thing lesson that I thought was really interesting, he said, and you're talking about a game, and the guy that taught me, he says, Robert, you got to realize that this is nothing but a game, and here's how the game is played. If it's costing you 10% to survive, and you're only making 8% on your investments, you're still losing 2%. But he says the problem is most people don't even invest to earn the 8%, so they're losing the whole 10 and don't even realize it because of the value of their dollar keeps going down.
Yep.
So he said it's a game. And the trick to the game is we'll use 10% as a good example. The trick to the game is to figure out how you can get 12% on your money where it's only costing you 10% to survive. Now you're at least making 2%.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. But it is a game. And they'll all tell you. Go to the stock exchange. Every single guy that you talk to, they'll tell you the same thing. It's just a game. Some people are good players at the game, and some people just lose their you know what because they don't know how to play the game. What the hell?
Yeah.
I want to live till I die,
Back in
and I'm too old to chase women because it wears me out. So I might as well just play the game.
back in 1978, I had a fellow sit down and explain how the market works to me. because it didn't make any sense to me why, you know, people were getting excited over the stock market, over a particular stock, in fact, going up a nickel, and they were getting excited, and they'd go out and sell it, and then it'd go down a nickel,
Uh-huh.
and they'd get excited and go out and buy it. The same people, and that
Yep.
didn't. At that time, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but today it makes sense. I understand exactly what they were doing. So, you know,
Oh yeah. And there are in the real world on the stock exchange, there's very few players that make it big because most of them, I think commodities is probably the best example. Uh, Man, you can make a fortune overnight if you know what you're doing, but you could put in 10, 20, 30 grand and lose it overnight just as quick as you can blink your
of
eye.
course,
So yeah,
I can make Sandy feel good right now because this house we bought, we bought for well, we bought it for $165,000 here last March, and already today it's valued at a little over 200,000, and
Oh, that's
the market's
does
going
that make
up.
you feel good?
That that
yay.
don't mean I got any more money in my pocket right now, but it does mean that if I had to, for some reason or another, sell this house, I would probably put a little bit more cash in my pocket. Whether the cash is worth anything or not
Yeah,
is something else. But
that's great.
so I'll defend
All right.
Sandy here. The stock the housing industry is not a bad thing to invest some money in.
No, one, it's coming back, and two, the housing industry is probably the best investment at all because whether it goes up or down, if you got a place to put your head every night, and you
That's a
can
good
lock the
thing.
door and you feel somewhat safe,
That's a good thing.
that's a damn good investment.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And I actually sold the house I was living in before we bought this one at a drastic cut from what it was actually valued at, but I made money. I made profit over what I had
Mm.
invested in it. So you know,
Terrific.
it the housing industry is a good place to invest money and make money, but you got to have somebody that knows how to play the game work with you. If you don't know the game, you're
Absolutely.
gonna lose your rear end. So
Yep. How true, how true.
that's why we need people like Sandy.
Absolutely.
Amen.
It's just part of the playing the game, and I guess I've been playing it all my life, so it doesn't bother me. You know, uh, like my the person that taught me all about stocks. I come running in one day and I said, "My God, it dropped 150 points last night.
Gosh.
We're going to lose our what." And he just smiled and he said, "Robert, I want you to understand one thing and never forget it. You never lose or gain a thing until you buy or sell."
Do you buy or sell? You're right.
So that's right. So if you buy it, you can sit on it and it could go all the way up to God knows where. If you don't sell it, you didn't make nothing. If it goes all the way back down below what you paid for it, you still haven't lost anything. You still own it. So,
Since our current president has come to office, my stock has gone way up. My value of my stock has gone way up, but I still don't have any more money in it than I had to start with. Does that make sense?
that's right. That's right. It does. Yep. It's just like I was talking earlier today to somebody else and said, "Look, you bought $62 worth of uh, USI. About one package." So I was arguing with him. I said, "Well, I'm looking at my back office," and I said, I'm up to $1,400." And this person says to me, he says, "You ain't got nothing. You still got your $62. That's all you put into it. That's all you got."
You,
I said, "No, I got
you, you
$1,400."
ain't even got that,
And he says, "No,
Robert.
you don't."
Robert, let me explain to you. You don't even have that unless you find somebody that'll
No,
give you that much for what you got.
that's right. Absolutely. But it's been going up, so I kept telling him, well, it's worth this, it's worth that, and he says, are you going to sell it today? I said, no. Well, then it's not worth nothing more than $62. That's what you put into it, and that's what you're going to lose if the thing falls apart.
That's what you'll
I said,
lose.
okay.
Not necessarily what you'll get if you got rid of it, but that's what you stand to lose.
Yeah, right. And well, he made the point. What's $62? I said, you're right. It's gone. I don't see it anymore. It's not in my wallet. So, what the hell? Doesn't mean anything to me today because I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and
Yeah.
I had a good night's sleep.
Robert, did you see my note to you?
No, believe it or not,
Okay.
I 6 o'clock this morning. I wanted to go to True United. I wanted to buy something, and I couldn't get in. 2 hours. I'm waiting for this thing to percolate. So I got to go to work. So I went to work. I got back 2 o'clock. I get on my computer. I go to True United. I try to go to my back office. Percolate. So then I called the office. I said, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. I can't get into my back office. So he says, well, just hang on there, Mr. Frank. Let me check something. Well, apparently every now and then they just call it a glitch because he says it just happens and the only thing you can do is call us. And we have to go into our little back room, whatever you want to call it, and click on your particular account, like, flip the switch. And as soon as we flip the switch, you'll be able to get in. Sure enough, he flipped the switch and I got in.
Oh, boy.
So, well, I know they years ago used to be the same way with the telephone company. My phone wasn't working, and I go, what the hell's going on? And my brother happened to work there, and I called him up. I said, what the hell's going on? I paid my bill, but I can't use my phone. So he goes, I've been in this place and seen all this massive wiring. He said, well, let me go check. So he goes down these hallways, and I don't know how they find out where you're at, but, he works for the company. Still, he knows all that. And he gets all the way down, hooks a couple wires, looks at it, and he says, oh, somehow your switch got tripped. And I said, really?
Yep.
And he said, well, how'd it get tripped? He says, we don't know. Just every now and then, things like that happen. When it gets tripped, you just got to call us, and we go in there and flip the switch, and you're back on. No charge, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what happened. One of the carbon fuses blew, and they had to go replace the carbon fuse. That's what they're doing when they're flipping the switch. I know exactly what happened there.
Well, see, I
worked in the industry too long.
Yeah, I have no. Yeah, I have no idea, but I just know it does happen. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I called him, he said, "I'm glad you called us because you weren't going to get back into your back office until you gave us a call because somehow the trip got flipped, the flip got tripped. I don't know what the hell, but he says we tripped it back and you're in." So I got in and I done my True Box thing and got it all done, and now I'm happy.
Now you're happy, huh? That's all that makes any difference, as long as you're happy.
That's right.
As long as you're happy.
I got my little.
This world's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my little order in, and I'll be happy when my order gets here. Then I won't starve to death. Blah blah blah.
I ordered for myself a couple of those Vengo drinks. I hope they taste
Vengo.
good. Vengo, yeah.
Yeah. Did you? Well, since you brought it up, did you notice that it said in there? Because I ordered basically the same thing. It said you get 25 points plus you apparently get a $25 gift certificate.
No, I didn't see that.
So I said, okay, I'll wait and see.
Mm-hmm. I bought 2 cases of Vengo one apple juice and one orange, because I really don't care for strawberry drink. That doesn't sound appetizing to me. But once the orange is carbonated and the apple isn't, it's a orange, it's a apple flavored water.
Oh, okay.
So I'll let them see how it tastes.
See, I ordered three because you got a big discount on ordering three, so I just went for the 3B.
Okay.
And that's why I brought up the other thing, because I don't, if I order three, which is I think the best way to go, then I don't every other month.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got that done and I was happy.
Okay.
And I was in my back office, and I guess they're still trying to straighten a few things out in the back office with USI. They're not quite done with it yet.
Yeah.
So.
But did you see I'm up to 117 things now? I'm buying 4 a day now.
Well, my problem is when I went in the back office, there's a couple things that they're, what do you want to call it, a glitch, or they're just not finished. I haven't seen any of your purchases, since they switched the office. I know that I'll see them pretty soon, but I haven't seen them yet. And that's probably because they're still working on it.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, it's funny, I couldn't see your purchases, but my BTC had jumped high enough where I was able to buy another package for myself. And just like the Coinbase, I went ahead and bought that token thing. Because you get 100 tokens, and I guess you're going to change them later for the tech coin or whatever. And I said, oh, what the hell, I'll buy it and see what happens.
It's all the money.
Yeah, it's, I'm comfortable with the whole idea. It's kind of like...
that's all that's important, Robert. If you're comfortable with it, that's all that's important.
Yeah.
Where do you buy tokens? I thought they were awarded based on how much you were buying your shares.
No, you can buy 100 tokens for same as you buy anything else, $62.
Oh, okay.
The only way you get the free tokens is you spend 2,500 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 25,000 whatever. Then you get a whole bunch of free tokens. But right now, it's all new, so I just like Mike said, when I look at my back office, I'm my value is $1,400. I only put 62 in it, so it's not going to hurt me. I'll just buy 100 tokens and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about USI Tech?
Yeah. Yeah, what they've done, if I understand it correctly, is they're coming out with USI Tech coin, but it won't be out. It won't be out until after the first of the year, I guess. So what they're saying is, you can buy tokens that will be good towards the purchase of the coins when they come out. If I'm correct, I'm not sure I'm correct on that.
Well, I was reading it here. It's I got an email on it.
Yeah.
And it's in this email. It's got a new compensation plan. It'll be worth $200,000. It's doubling up.
Right, but that's if you buy 5 or 10. I can't remember what amount you had to buy, but 10, then that's what, $620. If you're buying 100, that's $6,200. But if you buy more than the 100, then you get the so-called freebie. And don't ask me how that totally works, 'cause I really don't know.
Well, says right here, the gold token package, 5,000 tokens, and one bonus first. Let's see. Let me blow this up so I can see it. I needed a magnifying glass to see that. 5,000 and one bonus. First bonus is 10,000 tokens.
There you go.
20,000 tokens and two bonuses. For bonuses, 40,000 tokens. Second bonus, 80,000 tokens.
There you go.
50,000 tokens. And three bonuses. First bonus, 100,000. Second bonus, 200,000. And third bonus, 400,000.
Wow. But you got to put the money up front, correct?
Yeah, I guess they've sold 19,626,300 tokens.
Yeah. But like I said, again, I bought 100 just to see what happens.
If those Thomas, so I guess that's what it means.
Yeah. I'm not the rich cat on the block.
Me either.
But 100,
Not yet.
100 tokens. Not
You're
yet.
working on it.
100 tokens is fine.
You're working on it.
Oh yeah, and richness is I was and I won't say which one, but I'll just say it this way. I was happy to be able to donate some money, not much, but donate some money to a charity that I like for the first time in about 6 months, and that made me feel good. What do you want, Rascal?
Yeah, me too. I just
Yeah,
did Race for Tots.
yeah, so I mean, knock it off. Rascal, you're getting to be a pain. Boy, the little guy wants up on my shoulder, come hell or high water.
He likes it there.
Especially the high water.
Especially the high water, yeah.
Get on Dad's shoulders because the high water's coming.
So,
Yeah.
Rob, how much would it cost to buy 100,000 tokens?
Well, I would say that if you would first of all divide it by 100, because 100 would cost you 62, so you'd buy 100,000. That would mean you're actually buying 10,000, right?
Yeah, it'd be probably 62,000, right?
Yeah, probably 62,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when it shows you that they sold 13 million, I mean somebody's got the money and they're investing in it.
Yeah, well, see, this diamond package says if you buy 100,000 tokens, you get 4 bonuses.
Yeah.
First is 200,000. Second bonus is 400,000. Third bonus is 800,000, and the fourth bonus is 1,600,000.
Well, I would have to go along with what something that Chuck said. The whole idea behind all that is it's got something to do with electricity and being able to run their own Bitcoin manufacturing or however the hell they do it. And what they're basically looking for is the investors out there, which they've already got. You figure if they sold 13 million of them already, get the investors, huh?
It was 19 million.
19 million, okay. To get the investors so that they can get the equipment, because 19 million, you're talking about a lot of money coming in, so that they can start building this facility to start producing this tech coin. Yeah.
You're getting back to the hokey point now.
Now you're getting back to the hokey point.
Yeah, I think
Let's do the hokey pokey.
I think I'm gonna rub shoulders with Mike. I'm gonna sit right next to him and say, "I'm gonna watch this."
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I bought 100. What the hell? And I'll watch it. And I probably won't make a whole lot on the 100, but it'll be fun watching it. It's more fun to watch something if you're involved, and for $60, I can be involved.
Well, does that mean that they changed the packages to tokens?
That I can't. I don't know how to answer that.
No, they still have
Reverend,
dollars, and they still have dollars, and they still have bitcoins.
you want to go outside? Hold on, guys. I gotta let this guy out. I'll be right back.
Hmm. You recording this, Mike?
Actually, I am.
Okay. It's kind of interesting. It's a little bit off the beaten path from what we usually talk about.
Boy, I
It's
heard
interesting.
that
It's
tonight, didn't
interesting, but
That was the problem. He had.
Mike, be sure to edit out my temper tantrum.
no,
Please.
that's just as interesting. It's all part of the
Absolutely.
gist of the conversation.
Yep. It's
Robert,
kind of
it's
like.
about that time for you.
Oh, I know. It's getting close. It's like the one time this person that I know that just, is not a gambler, and I'm not really a gambler, but I just like to go out and kill a little time and spend $10. But he said to me, he says, well, that's just a waste of money. I said, I know. Just a waste of time. I said, I know. But I said, do you know what I know that you don't know? And he said, what's that? I said, if you don't play, you can't win. And he says, well, that's true.
You go out and pay $50, $100 to go watch a ball game. It's just wasting money too. But if something that you enjoy
Yeah.
and something you feel like you're getting a return on your money from by the enjoyment you get out of it, then it's fine.
Yeah, well, I tell Loretta, you might think this is funny. I go to the casino with $10. I'm not a big spender. And so I put it in a machine. And then I just play. I really don't care whether I win or not. And I joke with Loretta all the time. I says, by the time we get out of here, if I'm lucky, it keeps paying, so that means you're going to stay a little bit longer. So while I'm there, by the time I'm done, I lost my $10, but I drank 7 bottles of water, had 2 boxes of popcorn. This is all free, by the way. And if I was a drinker, I could have beer instead of water, and then the numbers would add up faster. So I said, by the time I leave, the $10 I spent, I got all the water and the popcorn and a few other things now and then. It was worth $10. Cost me more to go out to dinner.
Yeah. And you were
I
entertained.
remember Doug Weed.
I was entertained,
That's
yeah.
all that matters.
Well, today I was more than entertained. I went in with 10 and came out with 35.
You were smart. You were smart enough to take your 20-35 out, though, right?
Absolutely. Of course, I'd probably take 10 back tomorrow and lose it, but that's all right.
Remember,
It's
the
their
only
money
time you
now.
win is when you take it out and you're taking more out than you put in.
That's right. And if
I
nothing
remember
else,
Doug Weed.
go ahead.
I remember Doug Weed talking about. He says, "Me and my wife." He was a minister. He said, "Me and my wife go to the casinos. Well, we don't gamble. We spend $10." And he says, and the rule is, whoever loses their money last gets to call the shots for the rest of the night. And he said, and that can not be a bad thing because she's a little kinky. I said, okay, now we're getting all that.
Oh,
You ever see Gloria Weed? She was a beautiful girl. Ever see Doug Weed? He is ugly
yep,
as
I
sin.
saw him too.
I don't know what she saw on him. Pock-marked face all over the place. looked like he had a bad case of chicken pox when he was young, and it scarred his face badly.
Read his book too.
Similar to Freddy Krueger. Not that burn, but yeah, it was really a mess. And I have no idea what Gloria saw in him, but she divorced him anyway. So.
Holy Toledo Bandito, my clock says it's 6:03.
It just went to
You're
6:03
right,
on your
baby.
time. It's just supper time.
It's time. It's dinner time. The bell is ringing.
Folks, I've thoroughly enjoyed this, but I think it's my dinner time too, and it's not 6:03 here. It's 9:03, but that's all right. I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, and I gotta go potty.
I think I'm gonna bail out. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I have recorded it, and I don't know if I'll post it or not. I don't know if it's actually worth posting, but if anybody wants it, I will upload it to YouTube and give you a URL. Just ask.
Yeah, I'll take it, Mike.
Okay.
All righty.
Because I learned a lot today, so it was good.
I hope we all learned something.
I had fun. I don't know how much I learned.
I hope we all learned something. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway,
All right,
I'm going to
everybody.
cut out. I'm going to say good night, and I'm going to go eat my dinner.
Good night, folks.
And hope to see you,
Good
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
see you next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday's
Good
the
night.
night.
Good night. God bless y'all.
God bless everybody.
God bless
God
you.
bless you.
This session is no longer